delivering trusted business and financial intelligence. Welcome to Sharon Business Radio, where we bring you the latest updates on money, business, and the economy. I am Billy Nwogu, your trusted guide to business news, market trends, and economic insights shaping Nigeria and the global landscape. Stay with us as we keep you informed and ahead in the world of business. As of today, 7th July 2026, Nigeria's financial markets enter midweek on a positive note, with the NGX All Share Index closing the first half of 2026 up 47.43% at 229,419 points, pushing market capitalization close to 147,028 trillion naira. Analyst says the rally is now shifting from broad gains to more selective value-driven investments. Attention today turns to the Central Market Treasury Bills auction of 700 billion naira, which is expected to test investor appetite and give direction to short-term interest rates. On the macroeconomic front, Nigeria recorded a current account surplus of $5 billion in the first quarter, while the Nigerian National Petroleum Company reports cost savings of $3.4 billion. Lower import tariffs also signal a stronger supply-side approach by the government in governance and regulation. The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission has opened an inquiry into major technology firms, while the central bank continues to push for local data hosting. Trading on the Nigerian stock market sustained its bullish momentum on Tuesday, delivering a gain of 1,864 trillion naira to investors. Market capitalization rose by 1.24% to close at 152,135 trillion naira, while the all-share index advanced by 2,905 points to settle at 237,083. This performance pushed the year-to-date return to an impressive 52.35%. The rally was driven by strong buying interest in large and mid-cap stocks, with notable gains recorded in Capri Nigeria, Zichis Agro-Allied Industries, Nigerian Aviation Handling Company, Ikeja Hotel, and Dar Communications, among others. Market breadth remained positive, with 54 gainers compared to 17 losers. Capri and Zichi Agro led the gainers with 10% increases, while NACO, Dar Communications, and Ikeja Hotel also posted significant gains. On the downside, Critical Minerals Financing Corporation, Trans-Nationwide Express, and Fortis Global Insurance topped the losers chart, each declining by 10%. EcoBank, Transnational, and Mikhail Industry also recorded notable losses. Despite the positive performance, trading activities weakened, with total volume dropping to 497,067 million shares, valued at 28.2 billion naira across nearly 50,000 deals. And on the global market, China has lifted restrictions on refined fuel export for the rest of July, allowing a gradual return to normal supply levels after months of disruption linked to tensions in the Middle East. Trade sources say a major private refiner, Xinjiang Petrochemical Company, has also been permitted to resume exports after a 4-month halt, signaling a broader easing of earlier supply controls. The move follows an interim peace understanding between the United States and Iran, and is expected to help stabilize transportation fuel prices across Asia, where inflation has remained a concern. Analysts note that the policy shift could encourage Chinese refiners to boost output and take advantage of strong export margins, potentially increasing global oil flowing toward China, the world's largest crude importer. For July, China's total refined fuel exports are projected at about 3 million metric tons, in line with last year's average levels. Gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel shipments are all expected to rise significantly compared to earlier projections. However, uncertainty remains over whether these relaxed export conditions will continue into August. Meanwhile, global oil markets remain sensitive as renewed tensions in the Middle East continue to influence crude prices despite earlier gains in supply. Gold prices edged slightly higher on Wednesday, recovering from a near one-week low as investors await key signal from the U.S. Federal Reserve. Spot gold rose by 0.6% to about $4,128 per ounce, while U.S. gold futures showed a marginal decline. Market sentiment remains cautious amid renewed geopolitical tensions following fresh strikes involving the United States and Iran, which have raised concerns about inflation and global stability. Analysts say gold is attempting to stabilize after recent volatility as investors balance safe haven demand against the impact of rising interest rates. Meanwhile, oil prices climbed by more than 3%. U.S. Treasury yield moved higher and the dollar strengthened to its highest level in about a week. Investors are now closely watching the minutes of the Federal Reserve's June policy meeting for clearer direction on interest rates, with expectation of a possible rate hike in September gaining momentum. In other precious metals, silver gained over 1%, while platinum and palladium recorded slight declines. And that's all we have for you this morning on Sharon Business Radio. For more updates on business, finance, and the economy, follow our TikTok link and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Sharon Business Radio. I am Billy Unwogu. Thank you for listening. Sharon Business Radio, the voice of the economy.